One more test with this Yorkville. I got a microphone hooked up to it. This is just a Sennheiser E815 going into the mic input, so I'll let you hear how it sounds on, quote, live sound with vocals. So check, 1, 2, hey, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, hey, mic check, 1, 2, vocal check on the Yorkville Power Wedge. Hey, check, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, toodly 2, 2, 2, toodly 2. Toodly doop doo doo. Alright, cool. Yeah, a little muddy. It's very muddy in that low mid range. There's no articulation. There's just barely any articulation. But it's something. If you want to be loud and obnoxious, here you go. When you turn it up though, I don't even have it up that loud, but if you go further than that, you're going to run into feedback pretty quickly with that thing. Pretty quickly. One time I did use it as a vocal PA, and at almost half the volume, it was just feeding back like crazy. All I really had to do was turn the volume down. But yeah, there's not much gain before feedback. Just let you know. Okay guys, this is part 2 of my test. I just listened to this, and I already have critiques for it. All I have to say is wow. It's just, you're paying a heck of a lot of money for the sound that you get from this thing, but I'm going to let you guys be the judge. I'm just going to play some snippets of some stuff. Okay guys, let's do this. I'm playing something from my album so I don't get flagged for copyright stuff. So I'm just going to let you guys hear how this sounds. No EQ has been done on my phone. The only EQ that I'm going to do is on the speaker. So let's do this. Uh-oh. The cord came out. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Alright, let's do this. It's really, really muddy. I don't know if you guys can hear that in that driver, but like 400, 500 hertz, 800 hertz, it's just really muddy. It's muddled. But it gets really loud. It gets ridiculously loud. These pots are kind of bad. It's kind of crackling when I do that. It gets loud. I mean, I don't think I was even at 12 o'clock on this volume knob because it's so painfully loud, and my phone wasn't even up that much. So, guys, you can only imagine if you're using this as a keyboard monitor and you really want to make yourself heard, or if you cannot hear yourself, this is going to make sure that you cut through. You know, that was its intended purpose. It's definitely intended to be like an electronic instrument monitor. I would use it for keyboard monitors. I would use it for drum wedges, like electronic drum wedges. There's a lot of people that are looking for electronic drum wedges out there. This is perfect for that. It's loud. I would not use it for acoustic guitar because you may get a whole lot of feedback, low-end feedback from this driver, because the frequency on this driver is just everywhere. It's not balanced. It's a little muddy. So you may be a little bit careful with acoustic guitar with this. But electronic instruments, volume will not be an issue. What is an issue, though, is when you do turn it up, it gets extremely harsh. Extremely harsh. And the funny thing is, it's not even the tweeter, it's this driver. The tweeter is great. This is an RCF tweeter. RCF is a well-known company. They know speakers. They know how to make really any type of speaker. They used to be everywhere in EAW speakers, and things like that. So RCF, that tweeter is nice and crispy, not harsh. It's not brittle. It can be brittle if you continue to turn that high end up. It can really be brittle. But the thing that really destroys this speaker sound-wise is the driver. The driver is trying to reproduce half of, the frequency spectrum from like 2K all the way to like 250, and it just cannot do it. I don't know if they got the crossover set high or whatever, but this is trying to pick up the body of the sound, the articulation of the sound, and the low end. It's trying to do all three of those, and it just turned into a mushy mess. While the tweeter is actually doing what it's supposed to do, and doing really only like 6K and above. All that high-end content, all that sparkle, is where it needs to be in that tweeter. But the driver itself is just trying to do too much and not let some of that go to the high-frequency driver, which is what it's there for. The high-frequency driver is only getting the crispy stuff, but it's not getting some of the vocals, it's not getting some of that bright stuff and keyboards that come from, 2K, 3K. That should really be going to the tweeter, as well as all that crispy stuff up in like 10K or so. But no, this driver is trying to do it all, and it just makes for a muddy, muddled mess. So if you like that, and you like it loud, that's what you're going to get, Volume-wise, it's not an issue. It can get plenty loud, but the way that it sounds when it gets loud may not please you. It's gonna get harsh. It's gonna get harsh. Durability is not an issue. It's durable. I don't know how many years that this guy had this wedge. I just cleaned it up, and all the dirt and dust and stuff came right off, and it still works perfectly. No issues. Well, the only issue is that channel 1 really has a bad pot, and it really crackles really bad. That's the only thing. But I think one of the reasons why he bought this is it's loud. It can really tear your head off if you want it to. But in the sense that it will tear your head off, it will tear your head off, because the frequency spectrum is very, very imbalanced. There's a lot of stuff boosted. There's a lot of stuff that just sounds so unnatural. And when you really turn it up, it will sound loud, but it will not sound sonically pleasing very loud. It can get super duper loud. If you're using this as a stage monitor, you won't get any complaints because it's going to be loud. But as far as sonically, how it will sound, the best part of this speaker, I think, has to be the tweeter. The driver is just way too muddled, way too imbalanced. And when you turn it up, it sounds great. Don't get me wrong. It sounds great at low to medium volumes. But when you go past 12 o'clock, it's like all hell breaks loose. It's like this thing just goes crazy. Crazy in a bad way. And it may damage your ears. I mean, that's how unbalanced it is. It's painfully loud. And some musicians like that. But those musicians who like loud and good will not be satisfied with this speaker. If you want loud, but you want it to sound good loud, I would look elsewhere. I would look at Roland. I would look at JBL. I would even look at Evie. Those three guys. Powered speakers. For those people that just want it loud and don't care how it sounds, you'll love this thing, But for those people that are looking for quality that extends beyond the high frequencies, this tweeter, I would look at those other brands. Yorkville is great durability-wise. It's built well, laid out well, sounds really loud, but when you turn it up really loud, when you use it for its purpose, it starts to sound very unnatural, and it even distorts. It breaks up and distorts if you boost certain frequencies, because that driver is trying to do way too much. So it's going to distort, and it's going to sound really crappy the louder you go. And like I said, some people don't care, but I would only use this at low to medium volumes. And if you're doing that, if you're using it at low to medium volumes, I think you'll be satisfied with it. But if you want something that sounds better, I would definitely look elsewhere. If you want loud, if you want it to sound loud, but you want it to be good, I would maybe look at something else. But it's good for certain things. That's what I would say. So that's the Yorkville Power Wedge.